Well, hello there, motherfuckers. I was not impressed by this Raw at all. Holy fucking shit. Sorry about the late review, but I was going on some adventures with my stepbrother. Posted those videos up of me driving all around Long Island like a fucking goofball, not knowing where I was going. But I missed this Raw. I came home and we watched the last half an hour, but Raw's 3 hours, so I had a lot of catching up to do. So I watched this show and I was largely unimpressed by it. Very boring show, not the worst show I ever seen, but pretty fucking boring. Very, very few things that I enjoyed. Some things were alright, but for the most part, I was just bored. It was very uneventful. One big thing happened, but let's get to that. We start off with a Shield promo. This is kind of getting old in a way. I like the match that they had at Extreme Rules. Great fucking match, no doubt about it at all. Great fucking match. I gave that match 4 stars. Couldn't have asked for anything better. But, motherfuckers, come on already. These promos and everything by Evolution and Shield are getting boring. Especially with Roman Reigns on the mic. I have to say it. How the hell can he be considered the big dog in the fucking Shield? The man can't even talk. He's got fucking 3 fucking moves. Come on already with this guy. He ain't as great as they said. Seriously. Ambrose, Rollins, these guys have so much more potential. Why is the focus on the biggest Luke in the group? They go backstage, they beat up the Shield. It was alright, but the constant beatdowns, it's getting tiresome. They gotta figure out, like back in the old days, how to strengthen up these promos and segments to make it seem new and fresh every week. We had big, feuds, like, for example, Austin McMahon. Now I know it's a poor comparison because I'm talking about 2 of the most charismatic individuals there. But even still, other feuds that they had go on for over a year and they still felt fresher. Still felt more exciting than this. Even though a match ends up being good, a lot of times the build is very boring for things here. Then you had RVD defeating Swagger like in a couple of seconds due to Adam Rose interfering. I like Adam Rose. I think the gimmick is pretty funny. It's enjoyable. He's, in a wrestling world that is currently in a drought for charisma, personality, and gimmicks. I think that, a guy like Adam Rose is a much welcome change. But, at the expense of Swagger. Swagger has been losing like there's no tomorrow. Come on. Like, the thing is, he's pretty fucking over. At least Zeb Coulter is. Well, Swagger is over by association. When they do the We the People thing, everybody chants along. So why the fuck is he always losing? And why does it always have to be in like a 3-minute match? For God fucking sakes, the Usos get to wrestle for 20 fucking minutes on TV. But Jack Swagger, for example, a guy who actually, has technical skill and ability, they let him wrestle for 2 minutes? Come the fuck on. First one eliminated, getting pinned all the time. What is this? This is a guy that's in the record books as a former world champion, and he held the belt for like 6 months, and this is how they treat him. Then up next, you had Paige defeating Alicia Fox. Match wasn't bad. If you watch NXT, you also see Alicia Fox is greatly improved. Greatly improved. She used to be a botch queen, but now she's pretty solid. Paige beats her with the Paige Turner. And after the match, Alicia Fox showed a lot of personality. A lot of fucking personality. Slamming the announce table, slapping people. She looks like she could be a great heel, and you know this could work. You know, she's very tall for a woman, and you know she has good wrestling ability. You know, you see her in there; she actually does moves, and she performs them well. And she's a lot smoother than a lot of the other divas when it comes to execution. Many divas are very sloppy, but Alicia Fox has honed her craft. So you know, I would like to see them have, you know, a rematch. Maybe at Payback they'll have a rematch. They look like after the match they were really going for something with Fox, and I say stick with it. You know, this is the problem. Whenever they hit on gold, they always bury that gold in a fucking mine. You know, come on, it's time to take the axe picks, here fuckers, and get some of those diamonds in the roughs to come out. You know, they fucked up with Titus O'Neil. He was a diamond in the rough. And you know he was the lunker in the fucking pond, and they threw him back in. Fucking bullshit! Why they did that? And you know, so now you got someone who could actually be a really good heel. And why do I get the feeling like it'll be a one match thing, and then it will be, you know, back to Jobberville status for Alicia Fox? Then Daniel Bryan comes out and breaks my fucking heart, motherfuckers. The man's got to get neck surgery. Now, thankfully, I've been reading reports that the man will probably only be out for, you know, 2 months tops. It's a minimally invasive surgery. Now, I have personally had spinal surgery. I've had scoliosis surgery. I know all about these spinal surgeries. But minimally invasive is usually a very quick recovery. Something that I couldn't even get. So let me tell you something right here, motherfuckers. Daniel Bryan will probably be back right after Payback. Which is why I'm not that upset. But still, like a whole month without Bryan, it's going to greatly affect the quality of WWE. What are you fucking haters, Mama Luke's out there that like to hate on Bryan, want to admit it or not? Bryan is the reason why people still watch this fucking company. You know, there's no other reason to do so. You know, who else is good in this company? You know, name somebody who isn't like a jobber or being held down. It's the only guy that's actually, you know, gotten somewhere that's actually good. You know, so he's going to be out for a bit there, and you know, it's pretty fucking depressing, but hey, you know, at least he's probably going to come back real soon. Then you got John Cena and the Usos defeating the Wyatts. The match was better on SmackDown. This was, you know, not as good. Not horrible, but they just did it on SmackDown, and SmackDown's the B show, and they had the better match. Cena wins again, you know. Then you got Evolution cutting a promo in the middle of the ring, and Batista just sounds like a fucking goofball. Give me a fucking break with this guy. You know, how many different things are they gonna do with this man's fucking face to cover up that he looks like a fucking old man? You know, skinny jeans, they changed that. You know, the nose ring. You know, that now going for the bearded look. You know, come on already. Let's just admit it. He fucking sucks. Batista doesn't even look the same anymore. He looks like a fucking goofball. That is it. I mean, you know, when I did my Mama Luke's list, I put Batista almost right at the top, right under Santino. You know, what does that say when Batista is at the same place as a Santino? That is really, really fucking sad. But you know, Shield comes out. They beat on Evolution again. You know, constant beatdowns throughout the show. It's really getting tiresome already. It really is. You know, beat down, fucking beatdowns all over the place. Yeah, it really is. I mean, you know, you know, this is what wrestling's about, beatdowns and shit. But yeah, I mean, you know, kind of cool. You know, they already did one beat down at the beginning of the show. Now another beat down. Come on, you know, it's enough already. He's going a little bit overboard with these beat downs. You know, you got beat downs up your ass on this fucking show. Then you had Nikki Bella defeating Natalia with some fucking just moronic goofball type of scenario here. Total Divas, which is a show that barely anybody watches. They're now starting to integrate, and they do this on and off. They integrate the storylines into the wrestling show. You know, they've been doing this as of late, and I have to say, stop it! Just stop it already. I don't like what's going on here. Stop fucking integrating these storylines. Natalia paints an ugly looking fucking picture of Nikki Bella. Now, I can't paint for shit, but Nikki Bella makes fun of the fucking picture that she painted, the portrait she painted. And then you got Eva Marie and a bunch of other fucking goofball divas at ringside holding up scorecards with, numbers on them. What? Nikki Bella beats Natalia. Natalia is a diva with a lot of technical skill. And this is how they treat her. She gets pinned in a match, and she almost cries at the end. Why is Natalia always crying? You remember, well, you probably don't, but months ago, maybe a year ago, they had her cry in Canada, her home country. This is, what? Why does Natalia even work here anymore? They embarrass her at every fucking turn. An embarrassing storyline. How goofballish is that? She painted a portrait of Cena and Nikki Bella, and this leads to a match. Are you fucking serious? This match is over a painting, guys. What is this? I've never seen like such a fucking poor excuse to have a match or a storyline before. It's a painting! A painting! Then you had Sheamus defeating Curtis Axel, and before the match, Ryback and Curtis Axel are wearing like Ninja Turtle looking beanies, coming to the ring, then they take off the beanies, and they've got quarters underneath their hats. Who walks around with quarters in their fucking hats, motherfuckers? That'd be like me walking around with pennies in my fucking underwear. Like who the fuck keeps spare change in these weird parts? I expect Ryback to pull a nickel out of fucking Curtis Axel's ear while we're at it. Grown men that carry quarters underneath their hats. Who carries spare change to the ring? Back in the day, they used to hit motherfuckers in the face with a roll of quarters. Now we're flipping coins that are hidden under our fucking beanies. Sheamus beats Curtis Axel in like 2 minutes. Then Ryback has a match with him, which was a little bit better. Not a bad match there between Sheamus and Ryback. Pretty enjoyable little match there. So that wasn't too bad. Then you had Steph McMahon coming out. It looked like she was going to strip Bryan of the title. But instead, Kane brings out Bryan when Stephanie told Bryan to come to the ring. Kane drags him onto the ramp and just leaves him there. They carried him out on a stretcher. So I guess this kind of proves that, Bryan, they wouldn't have been dragging him around on his fucking neck if it was that bad of an injury. It's not the same thing. It's not going to be Stone Cold where they cut open his whole fucking neck to get in there. So anyway, they're probably going to have a match at the next pay-per-view. So I don't think we have to worry too much about Bryan being out for long. Like you said, 2 months tops. Probably won't wrestle at Payback. Pretty definitely probably won't wrestle there. But the next pay-per-view, he probably will. Then it was Dolph Ziggler defeating Fandango. And I did not understand the finish of this match at all. How the fuck did Layla's leg get into the apron. You know, how many times has she wrestled? She's been champion, and she can't figure out how to get out of the fucking ring. I mean, you know she did it purposely, but it makes her look like she's a fucking retard. Huh. Oh, my leg stuck! You know, and Fandango's concerned about this, and Ziggler sneaks up behind and beats him. And how does this make Ziggler look? He's a jobber now, but whenever he wins a match, it always involves somebody getting distracted and allowing him to sneak up from behind. Does this guy ever win anymore without distractions? Does anybody have, like, any integrity left? Everybody has their integrity stripped away in this company. You know, no one can just win a match. It always has to be, oh, because of this other guy. You know what I mean? There's always something with everybody. You just can't have a clear-cut run in this company and just be, an established wrestler. It always has to be a little something. Fandango forgives Layla, and then they start, kissing in the middle of the ring. JBL's reaction during this was pretty fucking funny, I have to say. Then you had Rusev, not Alexander Rusev, because, first names are banned now in WWE. No one's allowed to have any first names. If Stone Cold were to come back, he'd be Cold Austin, I guess. No fucking first names, no prefixes, no nothing. You're not allowed to have anything before a name. That's it. My name is Rules from now on, I guess. This channel's name is just Rules, because you can't have Brad in front of it. Then you got, it's what this was Hacksaw Jim Duncan comes out. He's just there for no reason. Why did he come out first? He comes out there just to start a USA chant. He's not even there for any reason at all. So this looked weird. Then you had Lana comes out, starts talking about Vladimir Putin. Then Rusev comes out and wants to beat up Hacksaw Jim Duncan. He breaks the 2x4 over his knee. Big E rushes to the rescue, and then he gets kicked in the face, which I thought was pretty fucking funny. I laughed at. This was a fucking pointless segment. It really was. Hacksaw comes out. I'm here. Does anybody want to say anything to me, huh? Just being there for no reason, making it so obvious that something was going to happen. And like, what was the fuck? Yeah, good job, Big E, saving the motherfucking Hacksaw there. He gets kicked in the face. Well, I guess he got beat up instead of Hacksaw, so, we should be happy about this, I guess. I don't... Well, what the fuck was the point? I guess a Big E and Rusev match is going to happen at Payback, but, hey, the segment, like, had no fucking purpose on the show. I mean, could you find a more random way to get there? Then it was Cody Rhodes defeating Sandow. And, Cody's on the losing streak, and he breaks his losing streak on a guy who's on the losing streak. So is that even like a win? Does that equal a win? Losing streak plus beating guy who's on the losing streak equals, celebration? No, this is fucking sad. Sandow deserves so much more than this. He went on some tirade on the pre-show, which maybe hints at that they're probably going to do something with him in the future. They probably will. They show him week after week despite being a jobber. Back in the day, if you were a jobber, you wouldn't even be on the main show. So maybe eventually this will lead to something. But, come on. It's making him look fucking bad. It really is. Then the main event was Roman Reigns and Batista, and they fight to a no contest. And it's just a brawl after that. All the jobbers come out of the back because Evolution needs help. 3 guys on 3 guys needs help. I like that Ambrose, used the dirty deeds on the chair. Seth Rollins stomped somebody's head into a chair, which was pretty fucking cool, I think. Some nice head moves on the chair were much appreciated, so that looked pretty good. But, overall, that was better, but, three fucking brawls. Like, we didn't even need this match with Roman Reigns and Batista because we already saw them brawl throughout the whole fucking show. Overall, it wasn't the worst fucking show, but it was pretty fucking boring. No real good matches, really. Just a lot of random shit. Just like so desperate to fill time, and they can't even. They really run out of ideas. Just take, if you have to have all these beatdowns throughout the whole show to tell a story, then you're running out of ideas. There is no fucking reason this needs to be 3 hours. When you're having random Hacksaw Jim Duggan segments and you can't even explain why he's there, then it's time to really rethink the format, for God fucking sakes. Do you realize how long 3 hours is? That's longer than most movies. The pay-per-views are fucking 3 hours. They don't even last 3 hours. You watch this show with the commercials and it's over 3 hours. Over 3 hours. Because sometimes Raw doesn't end until like 11:15 on the East Coast, 11:05. Come on. Sometimes I even see Raw end at 11:18, for God fucking sakes. That's enough. There's too much content on the show. Most of it's bullshit. If they would just extend the good shit, get rid of the bad shit, or at least decrease the length of it, then you'd have a pretty decent show. If they had a longer match between Swagger and RVD, it might have been able to become a pretty good match. If you switched a couple of things around, you might be looking at a pretty decent show, but instead I'm looking at a boring show. A boring fucking show that really was not that entertaining. It was just filled with random bullshit. So yeah, motherfuckers, not too good. Not too good at all.